Hey everybody, Gustavo Furman here, Into the Flow. Thank you for listening on Spotify and watching on YouTube. And please subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Thank you. All right, my next interview is another great one on season 2. I'm going to be talking to Karen Robertson. Is a holistic coach and a network marketing industry leader. Wow, and she does a lot of different businesses. And what I like the most about her is that she's really, really, really cool person. But beside that, she is actually a person that follows her inner being, focuses on what she wants, and listens to her intuition. And that's how she's done all her cool businesses. So I'm excited to talk to Karen next and Into the Flow. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? This is Gustavo Furman here, Into the Flow. Woo! Exciting, exciting times, really fun times. I'm so honored and happy here to have my good friend Karen, and I want to pronounce your last name correctly. How will you say your last name?
Robertson.
Robertson. Woo!
Yeah,
That is a cool last name. I love it.
thank
Robertson.
you.
So Karen Robertson, she is an amazing, I would say, a friend of mine. I would say yes, a friend. She's actually now in Bali. Am I correct?
Yes, Bali, I am. Yay.
Bali and wow. And so it's like, I think Tuesday at 10 a.m. around there here in San Diego, 6 o'clock. It's kind of cool, 16 hours in there. But anyways, welcome to Into the Flow, my podcast. And I am and YouTube as well and in Spotify. So we're gonna do this both ways. We're gonna go audio and video. It's gonna be fun. So I want to introduce lovely, beautiful Karen the right way, and I'm going to read this. And Karen is a holistic coach and network marketing industry leader, guiding ambitious women, entrepreneurs, and professionals to elevate their health and wealth so that they can become their best version and create a life by design. Wow, that's a great introduction and life by design. Wow. So can you tell us about life by design? I like that word there.
Well, thank you so much, Gustavo, for the beautiful introduction and for all the incredible work that you're doing for humanity. Oh, every
Wow.
time I open my Facebook, I see you dancing and spreading all your good energy and vibes. So I just absolutely adore you. And I love the podcast that you're doing. So thank you for having me on today. I feel
Thank
like
you.
we're going to have lots of fun. So welcome
Thank
to
you.
all the
Thank
listeners.
you. Oh, I love to have fun.
If it's not fun and simple, I'm not available for it. So, yeah, life by design. I don't know. I just came up with that concept like a couple of years ago. And for me, I'm always about holistic living. It's holistic abundance, health, wealth, like across the board. And it's really becoming the architect of your life and getting out a clear canvas, right? And
Mm,
designing your life exactly the way you would like it. Because at the end of the day, we are co-creators. We're such powerful creators. So you can either create unconsciously or you can empower yourself and decide to create consciously,
mm.
right? And I truly believe that we get to do that. So if you're given the right tools and you let go of the lack and scarcity and you empower yourself to be like, no, I'm going to tap into my full potential and create the life of my dreams. So that's the
Wow.
life by design. And it looks different on everyone, right? But I truly believe that you can have it all. It's not just one area that you get to excel in, not just like, oh, the business piece, but then your health suffers, or you have a thriving marriage, but then you don't have the financial piece. Like it's not this or that. It's this and this and this. So yeah, that's
Wow. That is such a cool thing because it's just the way life is for everybody, for all of us. It's like, yeah, it's true. Something is working out really well, something is not. And I think a lot of that is, for example, in my case, I can only talk about me, my experience. My career has been a main focus for I did for many years. And so, and I believe in it 100%, 120%. I believe in myself 120% when it comes to my career, and so I just focus and everything kind of flows nicely. And of course, there's struggles, but you work on it, you just, everything goes well. And then other areas kind of fail down, kind of go off the side. because you're not focusing on that as much, or you have the wrong beliefs behind certain things of that area of your life. What do you think of that? Is that why sometimes we kind of have one area working more than others?
Absolutely. Like maybe we're focusing too much on one area and we're not giving enough love and attention and energy towards the other areas as well. I feel like, and then then we get out of alignment, right? We get a little bit wobbly. So it's always about like having an intention that everything continues to elevate in all areas of my life. Like intentions are so powerful, and it's always the energy behind you do things as well. So I like to set an intention that everything just always elevates in my life with ease, grace, and flow, right? So what you put out and what you think is what you're going to get back. So yeah, but we go through stages where maybe we have to focus on one area more than others. But I truly believe that we can holistically elevate and grow in all areas of our life. And maybe there's some lessons that we still need to learn from the soul. It's always happening for us. All of these tests and challenges that come up, it's really designed to help us grow and expand and step more into our power and become more of an embodiment of who we truly are meant to be. So,
Wow. And you mentioned the word holistic, which is a word that is used out there, but a lot of people, I mean, they have their own ideas. I think sometimes of some certain words and terms, and as a holistic coach, right? Well, first of all, what's holistic for people to understand holistic really, and then how do you coach holistically?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So for me, holistic is always like the mind, body, soul connection. You know what I mean? So it's bringing all those three into cohesion, into complete harmony. And when I say holistic, I'll do like a little like a life circle or like a life graph, right? And it's like, okay, where are you at with your self-love and self-connection? Where are you at with your relationships with your partner, your kids, your co-workers? Where are you at with your health and your energy and your vitality? Where are you at with your relationship with your money and your finances? Where are you at with your relationship with your business and your purpose and your contribution? So can you see how we're touching on all of those areas of your life? And we're just getting curious of like, where am I at with my health and my energy? Am I waking up fully depleted and relying on coffee just to get it through the morning, or am I waking up with like so much energy and clarity and focus to like go throughout my day, right? So we want to like just really be the observer and take note. Okay, where am I at with this? Where am I at with my relationship with money? Where am I at with my cash flow or my personal power as well? um, and so then you can start seeing the gaps. Okay, well, maybe I'm a 4 out of 10 with my health, but maybe my business is at an 8 out of 10, right? So then you can maybe go, okay, I'm going to go focus on my health first because that's the lowest right now that I want to like shift and elevate. So that's kind of like what I get to do with my clients of like, okay, let's just take a whole look of where you at in your life, and then from that place we start to do the work to elevate and to get that up. And if I'm not a 10 out of 10. Like if I see everyone out of 10 out of 10 in, all areas, then oh my gosh, we've always got room to like grow and elevate and refine. Sometimes it's just a few refinements that we get to make, right? So that's what I look like when holistically across the board. It's just like thriving in all of the areas of your life because it's
Mhm.
not just the money piece we want to focus on. It's like
No.
the relationships with yourself and like your kids and your parents and like your coworkers and like the purpose that you're doing and like the contribution and the lives you're changing. It's like this whole piece that gets to come together. And then,
Right.
yeah.
That's
So
nice.
that's holistic in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, that's a great explanation. And talking about being complete in in a way, I guess. How do you actually start it? Like, when was the time where you decided to do this, become this amazing woman that is doing this good thing out there? And also, like, yeah, when was that? Do you have an awakening moment? I mean, awakening, I say that is when you realize, when you have that moment of like, I've always been this person and I'm gonna be forevermore this person, and this is what I was here to do. Do you have that moment, and how do you start your business from there
Yeah,
on?
great question. So just the kind of little bit of my background. I'm Australian, if you're trying to figure out my accent.
Great
And I left
accent. I love people with accents. I have an accent.
I'm originally from Perth in Western Australia, and I left when I was 19. I got the travel bug, as us Australians do, and I was curious, this might come up a few times in our conversation. Curiosity, right? Following the little nudges. And anyway, I went to Canada and on a working visa for 6 months, and I ended up staying there for almost 20 years. And I had hormone issues when I was in my teens, and that's kind of where I dove into this like health and wellness holistic space of like really had to like overhaul my diet and take out the plastics in my house and like just really start to dive into learning more about, holistic wellness. And so I became a nutritionist and
Sorry, we lost your can you talk? I lost your recording.
oh, it's recording on my
Oh,
end.
there, I can hear you now.
Okay, am
Can
I
you
back?
say, yeah, it kind of went a bit wanky. Sorry, everybody, just technology. Can you repeat that last thing you were saying? You became a nutritionist.
Yeah. Sometimes when like the energy's high, like the tech starts to go a bit funny. So
Too much good energy going on here. The
yeah,
computer doesn't know how to handle it.
it's like woo. Yeah, so I became a nutritionist because just for my own knowledge and just to like improve my own health. And I really I desired to build an online business where I could work from anywhere in the world. I just, one of my top values is freedom. I love freedom, and my family were living in Australia. So I wanted flexibility that I could work from anywhere in the world and go and see my family, whenever I wanted to. And so here I was serving and bartending in a downtown Vancouver, high-end wine bar. But I was working late nights and weekends, right? And I was getting tired and burnt out, and I was just hungry. I was hungry for a change. I was hungry to become the architect of my life and be able to have more flexibility with my schedule, to be able to work from absolutely anywhere in the world. And so I had an opportunity that came into my lap to start my own health and wellness online business and work with some really incredible products. And there was the part of me, the small version of me that was like, well, you've never done this before. Who do you think you are? Like, what are people going to say? And blah, blah, blah. Like all the stuff that the ego mind brings up when you want to try something new. Can anyone relate?
Me.
And then human nature, right?
Yeah,
And then there's a part of me that was like, well, if you're not happy with where your life's going, it's up to you to create that change and do something different. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting the same results over and over and over again. So I just bit the bullet. I was like, okay, I'm going to go all in for 1 year of this health and wellness business and give it my all, and we'll see what happens, right? That's kind of like always my energy behind things of like, give it a crack because you will never know if you never try,
totally.
right? That's
Yeah,
always been, and that's how I've kind of always ended up in like Bali and like Mexico and all these incredible places. If you don't like it, then just go and change it, do something different, right?
right.
That's always kind of like my energy. And so, yeah, I started my online business 2016. I had like hardly used social media. I didn't have a following. I didn't like speaking in front of people. I had a fear of like people thought of me, like all of this stuff. But I was just like, no, I'm going all in. And within 6 months, I was able to quit my full-time serving job. And I have never looked like that was like almost 9 years ago. And here I am, all because I just took a chance on myself and refused to buy into the limitations. And then I was just a sponge. I was just like getting in rooms with where people were that I wanted to be, like learning from top leaders and coaches and just kind of just always learning and growing. And it hasn't always been easy, but
Of
I feel
course.
like the entrepreneur journey is like the biggest like amplifier. Like all your blocks and limitations are going to come up and be like, here, you're hiding here, or this is going on, right? But I truly believe entrepreneurship is like the best personal development that you could possibly tap into. Like you get to become your best version along the way and help other people. So yeah,
Wow.
9 years in the entrepreneur journey. And then it was in 2019, I went through a divorce, and that's where kind of like my whole life got turned upside down and so much sudden change in such a short amount of time. It was like such a like it was like the dark night of the soul, but the best thing that happened to me because it truly put me on this path of where I am today of now guiding people through that and empowering them to start creating the life of their dreams. And now I'm such an embodiment of that to be able to help people shift through things so much faster. So yeah, and 2019 was like my turning point of like where I went into quantum healing and holistic coaching and started to run retreats in Bali. And yeah, it was such a blessing because I was able to just recreate my whole life in 2019 of like, how do I want my life to look, and 5 or 6 years later, I look around and think, oh my gosh, like we are so powerful. Like we are such
Wow.
powerful beings. And yeah, my whole piece that I want to share with the world is just like empowerment. Like, yeah, empowerment. And it's like you truly can create the life that you desire.
Wow. That's just such a great story, like of so much power within that you just, you know, and that's what I admire about entrepreneurs and coaches and everybody I've been talking to. And it's just that they believed in oneself, like and also being able to stop the noise of society and everybody, and just focus on what you really want and be clear, and but also have the excitement. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times we do in life, like we get into situations like jobs or situations where we just, well, we have to do it because we have to do it, you know, and it becomes, life can be hard that way. Of course, we gotta do sometimes do things that like we don't want to do, but like mostly the time for me as well, it's been what excites me? What gives me goosebumps? I'm always
Yeah.
using that word, like, you know what I mean? That first kind of like millisecond of before I do anything, it's like, oh, that's so cool. And then I want to go with that feeling throughout. For example, this podcast, I was talking to my guest earlier about, this podcast was created just an idea of like from my dancing career, which is I've been so blessed that I've done so well with it. And I'm still going with it. From that flow of the dance, the art, the music, came into, I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to kind of say more things now, express myself with my words, besides acting. I've done acting in my dancing. I'm like, yeah, this is the right flow. This is what my inner being is telling me to do. It's just, it makes so much sense from the flow of moving, breathing to speaking and to like bringing other collaborators and great people like yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's all into one. And so what you were saying is it kind of like you believed in yourself first. You wanted a change. You want to change. You weren't really quite happy. You like, I need something. You were hungry. That's very important too,
Hungry.
being hungry. Like if you're not hungry, you gotta get hungry.
You have
Like,
to. Yeah.
and it's not about hungry like people, well, you gotta work for a living, that kind of thing. It's not, it's like, I just don't feel satisfied. I want to do something that matters and not just to be praised. Like it's not about the ego. It's not about being praised. For example, my career was it's always been about the people, the customers and the clients, and I want to make them smile and feel good, feel empowered. So it's not about me. It's more, no, I want to do something that matters. So what you were saying that you believed in yourself, you were hungry, and then what else you just kind of went for it, right?
Yeah. Like it's just we don't need to know the whole plan, right? That's where people just like keep sabotaging. They're not taking the action because they're like, well, what will happen if this happens? Or like, I don't know where to go and all this. It's just like, no, like you just take that one step and action breeds confidence. That's how you create the confidence, right? And you keep just following the flow. And you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fall flat on your face. You're gonna fail. I don't even like failure is amazing because you're constantly learning. Okay, that didn't work. That worked fantastic. I'm going to pivot and try this and refine it. Like it's failing forward always. Like
Yeah.
you just got to get into action and get out of the head. That's where we just get so congested in the over analyzing and like the what ifs and all this. It's just like tap into the heart, like tap into the excitement and follow that energy of excitement. Like that's how I live my life right now. Like I love what you said of like you're dancing and you're in that creative energy because you're not so much in the mind, right? You're like tapping into the flow. And that's when the $1 million ideas just pop in of like, call Susie, ask her about this, do that retreat, do this, and then you have to take action on that. Like when you receive that I call them downloads or intuitive nudges or
Yeah.
guidance, whatever feels good for you. But that's like that's like your higher self is just like, hey, over here, there's a great opportunity for you right here. And if you listen to it, that's where the magic can really unfold. And that's where you collapse time, right? Instead of always trying to figure out in the head, like the logic, right? Certainty over logic. It's just like,
And
yeah,
and you said collapse time, which is also a term that a lot of people can't really. It's like collapse time. What do you mean? Like this is reality, and it takes time. And of course, things take time. Like my podcast right now, I'm doing it out of my heart, my feeling, and it will take its own form, and it will move, and it will be awesome. I know it's gonna be a great success, an extension of my business. Like I feel it. You know what I mean? But it's not gonna be like boom, boom. Tomorrow I'm gonna be the best, but the best podcasts are around. Like takes time, but you still are doing the steps. You still are doing what you
yeah,
love. You know what I mean? And so the way you were saying collapse of time, because I've studied this so much, and it's collapse in time is when you basically see your other self, the one that you want to reach to, and you take an action to get there, and you visualize or you imagine that, for example, Karen in Bali. You know what I mean? You're in Bali already, sitting there and sun tanning, you know what I mean, with a piña colada, and then you're like doing your online program or something. That's you in quantum leaping to that Karen, and that's you collapse time. Voila! What
yeah,
do you
you
think?
you basically nailed it, to be honest. Like there are so many timelines available to us. And it could be if you're doing a meditation in the morning, or you're having stillness in the afternoon, and you're just tuning into like your 1 year goal and that version of you, and you just maybe you visualize it, maybe you just have feelings. Everyone's different, so it's whatever works for you. There's no like this must be this, right? But you're connecting with that version of you that is already living that end result. Okay, because time is an illusion. So like maybe you're here in Bali and you've got a villa and you're speaking on a webinar, and like you're doing all the things that you want to do. Like you tune into that timeline, and how would it feel? Well, it would feel exciting, it would feel expansive, it would feel like, and you cultivate that feeling now, right? It's always the emotional charge that we want to connect to.
Yes.
And then you can interview this version of you that's already achieved what he or she wants. And you can just ask, how did you get there? What aligned action steps did you take? What did you have to say no to? What did you start saying yes to? And it's always the embodiment piece. Do you know what I mean? It's 80% embodiment. So what I mean by that, it's like your mindset. What thoughts are you thinking? How's your energy? What's your frequency like? What's your daily habits, right? Are you still going into lack and scarcity when you check your bank balance? Or are you just like, oh, interesting. Okay, well that's old news. I choose, like
Interesting.
because your bank balance is an old version. It's already done. It's in the past. Like, bye, who cares, right? Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I choose to embody the six-figure me and go about your day, right? It's like, and it's taking those little aligned action steps that's going to help you the collapse time, rather than try and figure it out in your mind and say, well, I'm just going to work 12 hours a day and hustle, hustle, hustle. You're not going to move the needle as much as like, what is the next aligned action step? What is the next obvious step? And you're connecting with that version of you, and you're basically interviewing like a podcast. Okay, well, how
Wow.
did you start your mornings? Did you
Wow.
change your diet? Did you cut out sugar or coffee, or did you upgrade your wardrobe to match like the $1 million version of you? Or did you clean up your environment? Like, did you say goodbye to toxic people? Right? It's all
Wow.
looking at that, and that's where you can, and then start like we have to ignore our current reality some, a lot of the time. Like we have to acknowledge it because we don't want to bypass our current reality. We want to know where we are, but at the same time, we don't want to be fixating on our current reality all the time because you keep recreating that.
Right.
Does that make sense? Is that landing?
Yes. Yes.
So we want to be very aware of where you are in your business or your money or your health, very aware. And at the same time, what are you aligning to? What are you more focused on? What are you creating?
So
And it's
good.
the person that, so like, you have to be that person now, regardless of what is going on in your reality.
Wow. And that's
Does that make
tough. That's really tough
that?
for
It
people.
is. It is very simple, but it's also it can be very challenging because we can get triggered and reactive to like everything that's going on in our life, right?
Yeah, big time. Wow. And so you mentioned so many great things there. Kind of like, whoo, what am I gonna talk about next? Oh my God. So basically like accepting reality, right? In a way of I see it as accepting it, being present and being grateful. And then taking, when you say align action, to me it's inspire action, which is the same thing. Because, and so that's the thing. I always have a hard time talking to people, especially people that are realistic. I don't know if, I have a lot of friends that are very realistic, meaning this is the way it is, and this is what you can't you can't imagine something what reality is what you see. You got to plan, you got to really plan hard. You got to like, you know what I mean? I said a lot of times I plan with excitement. I plan with like a little boy, like a kid, oh my God, I'm going to do this. It's going to be so much fun, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, you got to sit down and you just got to do a plan, like a business plan thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get to that. But right now I'm excited. Like, don't kill my excitement. You know what I mean? Like that's how I get things done. And then maybe I don't want to work on the computer. Maybe at that time I want to watch a movie, or want to go for a bike ride, or want to watch a sunset or whatever else. It's like, no, I'm not being lazy. I'm just getting inspired a little more. Like I want to feel the feeling longer, or I want to think of other stuff that kind of, you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of that going on in society where the ones that really think, well, that's just a dreamer. You're just a dreamer. You just, daydreaming, blah, blah, blah. Like Abraham Hicks, one of my teachers she says, daydreaming is great. Like daydream all you want. She says that. And it's like people that are very realistic, though, what I mean, daydreaming is a waste of time. You know what I mean? No, it's not. It's actually working 12 hours doing something you don't like and just like, going home versus daydreaming. I choose daydreaming in my opinion. What do you think of that
Yeah,
concept?
you nailed it. I loved everything you said just then. We're not saying like creation and manifestation, you have to participate in that.
Yes.
No one's saying that you sit on your butt all day and meditate and sing kumbaya. Like no one's saying
And
that, right? It's you have to take the action. You have to get the energy moving. You have to move the needle forward. But it's what are you actually doing? Like you said, are you sitting in front of the computer for 12 hours a day and like hating every minute of it? Can you imagine the energy from like everything is
very
energy from
low, right?
frequency, right?
Yeah.
So like you're very in a contracted, like limited energy, right? And it's very mindy, very logical, whereas like let's just say like I did an hour of work, I did all my like income producing activities. I'm really feeling to go to the beach right now and turn off my phone and just go ground for an hour. So I go down to the beach, turn off my phone. I'm just like present with the ocean. All of a sudden, it's just like, oh my gosh, I just got this webinar idea that is so exciting me right now, right? And then I come back from the beach and I go and do an email about this webinar, or I book a date for the webinar and I book the title. And does that make sense? So like if I sat there on the computer for 12 hours a day, would I have maybe got that download? Probably not because
I
I'm
don't
too
think.
into the thing. So no one's saying that you're up in the fairies and like you're up just floating around and you're not actually doing things. It's just you're in alignment. You're following those nudges. And for me, human design, I'm not sure if anyone is into human design here, but I'm a manifesting generator. So it's like
I love
my
that.
energy. my energy is expansive and I have to follow that excitement and flow because that's when I become the most magnetic, right? So then I'm always in my energy and it's like I respond. I'm like, does this feel good? Yes, this feels amazing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead with this, right? And it's always tuning into the body. And like for me anyway, it's like, does this contract me? That's a hard no. Oh, this excites me. This is expansive. Oh, I'm going to keep going with that. And that's where the magic happens. And that's just
And
for my energy type, right? Everyone's different.
yes, but that's so awesome because then you attract the clients, the people, the community that you want. They follow you. They is waiting for you. Hey, what do you think, Karen? What do you know what I mean? Like, I was listening. I don't know if you know. Have you listened to Erin Lyons?
No, I haven't.
She's amazing. Anyway, so I've been listening to her a lot. Actually, kind of obsessed with her right now. But she mentioned, yeah, there was a person complaining to her that he quit the business or his job to create a business and the business hasn't done well. So he's really scared. So he's thinking of going back to work full time. And she's like, well, what kind of energy have you put into the work? Are you excited about what you're selling? You know what I mean? Are you excited about telling people what's coming up and how they're gonna feel or whatever else you're doing? Or how do you sell in your business? Like, because people are going to react to that energy. They're going to feel, yeah, I'm not going to buy anything from this guy if he's doesn't even, he's excited about his own product or whatever else. So I think what you're saying is very important, that you have to be in high vibration, high frequency, so then you attract the right people, your business goes well. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah. Well, if you're not excited about what you're offering, how is anyone else going to be excited for it? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like people can feel it's like we're energetic beings, we're frequency beings, right? And so, when you walk into a room and someone just lights up the room, they're like, oh, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know you, but like I just feel drawn and magnetized towards you.
Yeah.
Or there's sometimes you walk in a room and all of a sudden you're just like, oh, like something feels really stiff and off, right? Like who has experienced that before, right? Our energy introduces, you know, before we even like start speaking, our energy always introduces, to people. And so like yeah, how's your energy? Check in with your energy. Are you excited about your business? Are you connecting with your business? Are you excited about your offers? Because
Exactly.
like, sometimes they're like, I'm not attracting clients or I'm not selling out my programs. It's like, well, are you excited about like your program? Do you think it's like the best thing ever and you cannot wait to like serve people? No, I'm in lack and scarcity. Okay, well, let's just clean that up, right?
Exactly. Wow. So you got to clean that up. And so talking about wellness and cleaning things up and like that, you mentioned quantum healing. And I know you're involved in many different kind of businesses, right? And so what's quantum healing and how do you use that to actually help people heal? Because I know all of us can heal ourselves, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the first thing I want to say is like there's actually nothing to heal, right? We're already whole and complete. We're not broken. There's nothing wrong with us, right? But we've just got blocked some distortion. There's like blockages in our energy field that we're not able to, get right to our full potential. So, and especially with abundance, right? When it comes to abundance, a lot of those blocks and limitations aren't even ours, right? They come from like family, generations, but it's up to us to do the work to clear that up if we truly want to live in abundance as well. So for me, quantum healing, there's nothing to heal. We're just bringing you back to your natural state, which is pure abundance, harmony,
yeah.
wholeness to me. And it's always, working with the four body system, which is your physical body, your energetic body, your emotional body, your mental body, right? We want to make sure that all of that's in cohesion because when we are, we're in optimal performance and becoming our best self. So yeah, that's just one modality that I use to help people. There's a frequency device that I use as well to help people come back into balance and harmony. So yeah, it's
Wow.
there's nothing to heal. It's wholeness. Like when you operate from wholeness frequency, that you have everything you need and there's nothing wrong with you. Whew, that is attractive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then you really are in the well-being side of it. You're not in the sickness or unwell side. So your vibration is in basically being yourself, who you are, which you're healthy already. You are. well-being. So basically, I understand exactly what you're saying. When your mind, if your mind is acting that way, your body follows, right? Kind of like what Joe
Absolutely.
Dispenza says too. And wow, and so you're talking about some products, some frequency. Can you tell us about that, or that sounds
Yeah.
really
Yeah. So there's two things that I work with. One is the quantum frequency device, and it's portable and wearable, like wireless. So you just clip it onto you like that. And in a nutshell, this basically harmonizes your whole body. So it scans your whole bioenergetic field. So if you don't know, we have like, this kind of like an egg of light that's around us, right? And this is where all of our thoughts go and we keep attracting everything. And so this basically scans your whole bioenergetic field and it's picking up on where you are out of alignment. Okay. And this does it on the mental, emotional, physical, energetic. And then what it does, it then runs customized frequencies to you to bring you back into cohesion, back into alignment. So it's really harmonizing the mind, body, soul. And yeah, I mean, there's so much that I could dive into about this
of course.
frequency divide, but I like to call it like it's a just a wellness hack in your pocket. Like it's such a supportive tool. It's holistic. I kind of call it like having a Joe Dispenza. Does anyone know Joe Dispenza
Yeah,
here? I'm a huge Joe Dispenza fan, right?
me
So
too.
it's like having a nutritionist in your back pocket, a quantum coach, a healer, a chiropractor, a naturopath, because it has over 10 million different frequencies and up to
Wow.
225 different programs. So there's literally a frequency to support the whole human, mind, body, soul, but also in every area of your life. So let's just say you're a student. There's programs to help you with concentration, productivity, learning, information. There is meridian programs. There is hormonal balance. Oh my gosh, there's like fitness programs. So if you're into marathons or you're into athletic in the gym, there is like muscle recovery. There's stem cells. Like it's like it's just mind blowing. And so yeah, like frequencies are the language of the universe, and it's how your mind, body, and soul communicate. Everything has a frequency. So I really sum up the Healy as it's bringing you back to your original blueprint. Before
Mm,
we got these blocks and limitations and distortions, and there's also like a chakra balancing program so it can scan your whole aura and it's picking up on like, okay, your root chakra is out of balance and alignment, your throat
wow.
chakra is blocked, and then it's just like harmonizing those frequencies. Because like, think about we're in 2025. There is so much coming at us, right? There's so much.
So
There's there's,
much.
there's positive frequencies, or like I call it, like natural, beautiful frequencies in like nature and stuff. But then there's also like more harmful frequencies.
Yeah,
5G towers, toxins, environments.
so
Like there's
much.
so much bombarding at us, and I'm at the place where, hey, I'll have all the support that I can get to keep my frequency at high because at the end of the day, your frequency is your currency. Your frequency is what is manifesting next into your life. So if you're constantly low at a vibrating at a low frequency, you're going to keep attracting that. So
Right.
for me, it's not replacing eating clean or going to the beach and being out in nature or going on hikes or meditating. Like I still do all of that. But who has like everyone lives busy lives, right? Like, yes, we don't sometimes have 2 hours to go meditate to clear all this stuff from our field, right? We live busy lives. So if I could add something that's going to biohack and it's going to help me accelerate what I'm already doing, and it's like it's just boosting and amplifying what I'm already doing. So let's just say I do meditation in the morning. I'm going to put on my Healy and run a coherence program to bring my mind, body, soul back into coherence. And then I start my day. And it's so easy to like, I'm on this call with you now and I'm running a program. So I'm not adding anything else to my day to day. Like I'm not adding 10 things. I'm actually literally just popping on a frequency program and pressing play. And then it's doing the work for me. Does that make sense? So
Wow. It does
you
make
can use
sense.
you can use it on animals. I'm a huge dog lover. I'm a dog mama.
Ah, me
Um,
too.
yeah, you can recode your water with it. Like there's so many amazing things that you can do with the Healy. It's yeah, it's such a holistic, powerful tool. And really depends on what you're looking to improve in your life and what you need
Wow.
to work on. So yeah,
So
I have a
they,
toolkit, right? So like I have a quantum toolkit of all of my holistic hacks, and like this is one of them. I have some frequency charge nutrition. I have meditations, and yeah, all these beautiful things that
wow. Yes, like an
support you,
extra,
right?
yeah, like a boost, like an extra help, an extra little, yeah, we all kind of need that for sure. So they'll, at the end, you can just tell us how they can talk, people have to contact you in order to maybe find out more about the product and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
well, you can just give us the information later with that. And so you have a lot of other businesses you're involved as well. They all relate to the same type, the same, all goes back to the same thing, right? On really being true to ourselves and being the best we can, right?
Absolutely. Like there's, 3 or 4 different pathways that I can offer people, whatever is in most alignment with them, right? But at the end of the day, it comes down to empowerment. And to me, health is wealth. If you don't have your health, then how are you going to thrive in all areas of your life?
Very important.
And it's also, I've got 2 pathways where people can create a lifestyle business, a location independent business where they can work from anywhere in the world and really tap into leverage, a done for you business so that you can work smarter and not harder, right? And everything's done for you. It's all automated so that you can, for me, it's like having that free time to do what sets your soul on fire, right? Whether that's, working on your passion projects or whatever, dancing, creativity, so really supporting people with that holistic health, but also the wealth piece as well, because you do need both.
Yes. Wow. And so, like, I mean, you're in Bali right now, and before you were in Mexico, I think, right? And so you travel around, you work online, do you do any like any in-person seminar type of things?
Yeah, I did a retreat last year in Bali. I wasn't living here at the time, but I traveled to Bali and did like a women's health and healing retreat. But I've been working online for 9 years. Location, I've lived in Mexico, Costa Rica, now Bali to be closer to my family in Australia. But I'm always open. Like I love meeting people in person, and I think Bali is such a beautiful place to like do retreats and collaborate with one another. There's lots of beautiful people that come to Bali, and for me, Bali is such a beautiful, healing, holistic place. It's like the one of the biggest purification centers on the planet. Like, woo! It's like really, really powerful. So, yeah,
Wow. I didn't know that
but I never,
actually. Yeah.
yeah, you did. I'm always open and available. Like to what else is possible, right? So yeah, right now I'm pretty much online, but again, if people are here and wanted to do like a VIP day with me or a retreat, I'm open. If it's exciting and fun and it's going to help people and help, up level people, then I'm all for it.
Wow. You have so many things going on and so much amazing positive energy and everything. That's so cool to talk to you.
Thank
And I wish this was like so we can keep talking and talking and talking, but because so much information and so but what we talked about and I think what you said it was such an uplifting, powerful things you were mentioning that it all comes down to this to basically saying yes. It's all about is how is your inner being. It's the true self within is that's where the answers are, and from then on, everything works out if you followed your true self. Of course, you gotta have the inspired action, take care of yourself, and is take care of every part of yourself, not just one part, but on every part of yourself, and to be a whole person and move forward. Make mistakes, fall forward. I like that, fall forward, you know.
Yeah, it's so awesome. And like I always said, like our inner world is always a reflection of our outer world, and once we realize that really pulls us back into our personal power of like, wow, I take full responsibility of what I've created in my life so far. And from this place, I'm going to empower myself, right? Because I have the ability to do the inner work to clear out whatever's going on inside. And then from that place, things start to shift on the outer reality. So, what people often do is they try and fix the outer and they start to like do all over themselves and try and fix everything. But it's just really, well, we go inside, we get into that 80%, which is the frequency, mindset, vibration, cleaning up all of that. And then it's the outer, it's the outer as well. So
We're energy, we're energy, and it's the way it is. We are energy. Like, I mean, and I think you were mentioning cleaning up stuff like that because and also manifesting things. For example, in reality, we might have something happen to us or many things, and we're like, why did this happen to me? You know what I mean? But you are responsible for that creation. I mean, sometimes there's other things involved, there's other people involved and their own vibration going on with yours and whatever going on, but mostly is you creating everything. It's like, wait a minute, if I can create this, like, why not create the opposite? Like, I mean, it just
exactly,
doesn't make sense.
exactly.
Why am I going to believe in creating? I'm a creator. We are all creators. So I created something I don't want. Wait a minute. And then if you start going back, you're like, oh, yeah, remember I was complaining about that. Then I keep talking about it all the time. Then I keep, you know what I mean? And then you're like, yeah, no wonder, right?
100% Gustavo. Like, we can get so addicted to talking about our problems and constantly complaining. And like that is manifestation right there. Our thoughts are the manifestation. And then whatever comes out of our mouth, we are abracadabbering. We've got a magical wand. So we're so programmed to like complain about what's going wrong, or that's how
Oh,
some people bond and connect, right? And so it's just being really conscious of like, do I want to create that? Like, I shouldn't. So
right.
so just being conscious of like the language that you're using as well is like constantly creating your next future reality. So
Change your story, like Abraham Hicks says, change your story, right?
like tell a new story. Like
Tell a different story.
anytime. Like you're not happy with your life today. I choose right now that I'm creating a brand new story. And I'm committed to this story no matter what.
And
Right?
you can live by design. You can design your own life, and it's like writing your own script. You know what I mean? You're the director, and
Yeah.
it's just amazing. And that's why I love, doing this, talking to you and to too many people. I've talked to so many good people, and it's like, let's move this energy around. There's amazing stuff. Let's move it around. Everybody's different, but we're all the same. I mean, everybody's different in personalities, but we're all energy. And
Exactly.
and so again, I want to thank you so much for your amazing positive energy. It's like a therapy session too as well for me. It's like, yay! It's all this great stuff that I'm listening and absorbing, and all the listeners and the viewers, they're gonna love this. And please tell us where they can find you. I'm gonna put all this stuff, all this information, but really quick, you have, of
Yeah.
course, social media and website.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm mainly on Facebook and Instagram. So Karen Louise on Facebook and the underscore Karen underscore Louise on Instagram. I will give Gustavo my links as well so you can have access to them. And then my website is thekarenlouise.com. So, and yeah, send me a message on Instagram or Facebook. I'd love to hear what resonated from this chat with Gustavo today, what really landed for you. I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from. My inbox and my heart is always open. So, sending you guys so much love. Gustavo,
Ah,
thank you. You're
so
amazing.
awesome. Thank you.
So amazing.
Sending you love back and kisses and hugs. Energetic hug. Woo!
Yay!
Thank you so much again. And everybody, thanks so much for tuning in into the flow. Remember, if you stay into the flow of yourselves, everything goes kind of cool from there, right? Not kind of cool. I think it goes really cool from there. So into the flow. And thank you again, Karen. I'll see you guys soon in the next one.